So what's going on YouTube? It's Jeffman316, your pop culture reporter, coming back to you with what's going to be a top movies list. I had so much fun doing my Thanksgiving list. I thought, why not do a top movies or things to watch, because some of them may not be movies, maybe other programs to watch at Christmas list. Down here in my basement, going through my movie collection. It's that time of year again, and I thought, if I'm going to do this, I wanted to really dig into my collection, and I want to find Christmas movies of all types. So I'm going to give you some examples of ones that I pulled out of here, and ones that I may or may not be on the list, just to get started. But before we do that, if you'll do me a favor and go ahead, hit the like button now, or when you finish watching this video, leave any comments now or at the end. Let me know what your top Christmas movies are, and then go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I really would appreciate it, because I'm new to this, and I want to grow this channel, and hopefully 2021 be a great year. So I want to end it on a bang, doing some different movie reviews and different movie lists. And then go ahead and hit the notification bell, because when I do more of these videos, and I hope to post more during the holiday season because I'll have more time off, you'll be the first to know. So in this intro part, I'm going to go ahead and give you an idea of some things that may be on this list or maybe not. Charlie Brown's Christmas, that's in my collection. What do you think? Will that be on the list? The Grinch, that's in my collection. I've got multiple versions of this. Will that be on the list? Elf. Now come on now, you know Elf's got to be on there, right? A Christmas Story? Maybe. You know that's got to be on there, right? Christmas Story 2? How did that trash get in there? Not good. Avoid this at all costs. Christmas Story 2? Not good, not even worthy of being a sequel to the classic. A Jingle All the Way. I love that. That's kind of apropos about the toy people finding that stuff. We'll talk about that more if that's on the list. Jingle All the Way 2. Next, Home Alone 1 and 2. They got to be on the list, right? Classics. What about Gremlins? You think that's on my list? How do you think that'll make it? And then finally, Die Hard. Am I one of those crazies that think Die Hard's a Christmas movie? Why don't you wait, go through the list with me, and you'll find out. So when we come back, top 20 things to watch at Christmas, including a couple of honorable mentions. So YouTube, it's Jeffman316, your pop culture reporter. Like I said, coming to you with what's going to end up being a top 20 things to watch at Christmas video. I'm going to also mention a couple of honorable mentions, because, man, when I started digging through this, there's all kinds of Christmas movies. You got comedies, you got heartwarming films, you got animated movies, you got action movies, you got horror movies. This list, I really want to do a mix of classics that you know are going to be on here, and some that you don't. So maybe you'll get some nuggets from this list and go out and have something new to watch during the holiday season. So with that being said, I've got two honorable mentions, and they're not true Christmas movies, but they happen during the Christmas season, and they've got a lot of Christmas themes in them. And I wanted to start it off with something different that you might not have thought of, so you can kind of see where my list might go. Honorable mention number 1 is Reindeer Games. It's got Ben Affleck, Gary Sinise, and I think it's one of her very first movies of Charlize Theron. Not going to give a lot into it, but it's a bank heist movie. I really like it. This guy where they go into the casino dressed as all of the villains, where the robbers go in dressed as Santa Clauses. Really good, and for no other reason, you get to see Charlize Theron's Jingle Bells in it. So that's got to be on the list. The second honorable mention is Trading Places, and now that I'm thinking of it, maybe there's a theme going here with these honorable mentions, because I just recently watched Trading Places, and you obviously know there's a couple classic scenes in there. You got Dan Aykroyd, Eddie Murphy, Jamie Lee Curtis, and get to see her Jingle Bells too in this. So really, I guess your fathers and the dads and the the guys on your list are really going to like the honorable mentions probably more than anybody else. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the top 20 things that I think you should at least try to watch during this upcoming Christmas holiday season. Number 20, Bad Santa. Now, this movie's got probably a bad rap. It's got Billy Bob Thornton, his little friend in it that plays, he plays Santa, and the little friend plays plays his elf when they go around the malls, and then they end up robbing the places. I'm not going to get too deep into it, but it is really vulgar, so I would not let the kids watch this. But it is a really good comedy. I like it myself. If you're late night, got nothing else to do, want to sit back and have some raunchy fun at Christmas, no better way to do it than watching Bad Santa. Number 19, I'm going to go ahead and stick a horror movie on this list, and we got Silent Night, Deadly Night. And I'm going to go with just the original, because lots of sequels to this, at least the second one's famous for Garbage Day, that quote there. But other than that, it's pretty much hot garbage. And then I know there's at least one other sequel, maybe two. Just go with the original. It's a classic. It's a classic horror movie. It's got all your classic tropes for horror movies. On top of that, you got a killer, that's dressed as Santa Claus. So let's go with Silent Night, Deadly Night, the first one. So number 18, A Bad Mom's Christmas. Throwing a little more comedy in there. It's not quite as raunchy as Bad Santa, but I wanted it, towards the bottom of this list because it isn't as family friendly. But once again, maybe you're starting off with something that you want the adults to watch. If you liked Bad Moms, you're going to love Bad Moms Christmas because it takes it up a notch. It introduces each one of the characters' mothers into the plot. And it's got a scene where somebody's getting their taint waxed. What more do I need to say? So number 18 is A Bad Mom's Christmas. Number 17 was one of the things that I showed you during my intro. It's How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Now, I'm not going to put multiple versions of this on the list. So just so you know, this is the only Grinch you're going to get. I'm going with the original cartoon classic that I grew up on. I don't watch it that often, but I do own it on Blu-ray. What I was showing you was the newest animated version. Or you could go with the Jim Carrey live action. But if you're going to go with the Grinch, let everybody try to agree. I'm just going to say Grinch, but How the Grinch Stole Christmas is my pick, the original. Number 16, Christmas with the Kranks. I'm disappointed that I can't find a Blu-ray of this movie, but I've got my DVD, and it also comes on cable every year. But it's a Tim Allen comedy classic. It's got Jamie Lee Curtis. This was about a decade, I think, after her role in True Lies. So she goes with being a sexy housewife to just a normal, average, everyday mom. The classic scene where she goes into the grocery store and is racing around trying to get the Christmas ham for her daughter that's coming home is priceless. That's worth the price of admission. So number 16, Christmas with the Kranks. So number 15, I'm going to go. This could make a double feature for you. I'm going to go with the Santa Claus, the original Tim Allen classic. So you could go back to back with these in any order, I guess you could choose. But I'm going with Santa Claus next. I like the original. I don't care at all for the second one or the third one. So if you're going to watch it, let's just go with the original Tim Allen classic and stick with the Santa Claus at number 15. Number 14, Office Christmas Party. I know a lot of people like this and a lot of people don't. I do like it. It's a really good ensemble movie. It's got Jason Bateman in it and Jennifer Aniston, and I love pretty much everything that Jason Bateman's in. I think it's really good. I think T.J. Miller's in it. It's not too raunchy. So as we had a couple raunchy ones at the beginning of this list. It's got a couple scenes in it, but it's toned down a little bit. I don't think there's too much in there. It's got some potty humor in it. But nothing over the wall, drug usage a little bit at the party or whatever, but nothing too over the top, nothing too adult oriented. If you're going to go with a comedy that's got some Christmas balls to it, I think you could do no better than Office Christmas Party. Number 13 is a movie that most people may not have even heard of. I like it. It's another movie that I wish they would release a Blu-ray of so I could get it in high def. The Ref. Dennis Leary. You may not like it because it's got Kevin Spacey, so you might have to overlook that. But the good thing about it, he stays tied to a chair, being kidnapped by Dennis Leary, who's a thief that comes in during Christmas. But I really think it does have a good message in there. You got it's a couple who basically on the verge of a divorce. They're trying to decide, are they on the last legs and they're getting a divorce? And he ends up breaking in and almost becomes their referee or their therapist, trying to talk to them, and he goes almost half crazy during the night. So it's a really, really funny watch. So number 13 is The Ref. Number 12, I'm going to go with another horror movie. And the reason I'm doing it is because it's the only other one I'm going to put on this list. And it kind of cleans the slate of those, and you're probably going to get a lot of classics from this point forward. But it's number 12 is Black Christmas. And I'm going with the original, was it 1970? Was it 74 maybe? If not, I'll put it in the title in parentheses. But mid to late 70s. The sequel that came out a while back, I'm not sequel, sorry, the remake, and I'm talking about the one that came out 10, 15 years ago. I don't remember how long it's been, but that one is okay. The remake, the second remake that just came out, was it last year? Hot garbage. Avoid it. Throw it in the trash if somebody gives it to you, and seek out the original Black Christmas. I used to like it when I grew up because it's got Margot Kidder in it, and for some reason, I just liked her. I thought she was, had a little edge to her in some of her roles. She's obviously good as Lois Lane, but she played in the original Amityville Horror. She plays in this. To me, even at the time, she looked like she was a little too old to be playing a sorority girl. But it's one of those classics, sorority house being stalked by somebody who's doing obscene phone calls and ends up killing some of the girls. But I won't give away too much of the plot. But the original Black Christmas is the way to go. So that's at number 12. Okay, so the rest of this list is going to have pretty much a lot of classics on it. So if you didn't like the beginning of my list, you're a traditionalist, you'll like the rest of the list, I promise you. Let me go ahead and get my computer up. So I don't get the order wrong. So, number 11. A Christmas Story. And some of you traditionalists might be shocked at why A Christmas Story is this far down on the list. Part of it is just because, man, for the last 40 years or longer, it's on 24 hours a day on TBS, and I've just grown weary of watching it. It's good. I'll watch some scenes once during Christmas, but there's other Christmas movies that I watch once or twice a year that I haven't grown tired of. I think maybe that one is it's then got to the point where it's boring. It's one of those movies that I'll have on in the background and won't pay as close attention to it. So it's really sad that I think that way. But I will say, like I did in trying to be funny in the intro, avoid the sequel at all costs. I got it thinking it would be at least half decent. It's almost like a really bad TV version / made for cable knockoff of the original classic. Nobody in it is as good as the original cast members. So number 11 is the original A Christmas Story. So number 10. This is where you find out what kind of movie fanatic I am. So number 10 is the original Die Hard with Bruce Willis. And I don't care what you say, the reason that I'm putting on this list is I personally think Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Got a Die Hard Christmas book here. I'm going to make a video that is the top 10 reasons why Die Hard is a Christmas movie. The movie, to me, you do not have to be a comedy or a drama or anything. As long, whatever type of movie you like, you should be able to have a Christmas movie that fits that genre. So you've got horror movies that I consider Christmas movies. You've got comedies, you've got dramas, you've got animateds. We're going to have an action movie, and if that's the only one that ever makes the list as an action movie, then damn it, we need one on there. So Die Hard is a Christmas movie on my list, but it's number 10, so it kind of cleanses the palate as we go into the rest of the list. Number 9, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and Frosty the Snowman. So usually you can buy these on like these sets, whether it be Blu-ray or DVD, where they're together. The only reason I'm putting them together is because they're television shows that usually have commercials, and once you take the commercials out, you usually only have about 20 some minutes of a show left. So that would be a good double feature, watch them back to back, and the kiddos would have something to watch. And I don't watch them every year, and you got all those other cheesy versions of Rudolph that I don't like. The Shiny New Year and the Misfit Toys and all that other stuff. The classic Rudolph and then Frosty, watch them back to back. Kill an hour. The whole family can enjoy those. So that's number 9. Number 8, Jingle All the Way with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sinbad. I mentioned this in the intro of how it's kind of ties in with today. If you remember the classic scene where Arnold goes into the toy store and is asking, does anybody have the toy that his son wants for Christmas? And they basically laugh at his face because he didn't buy it and it's sold out, and it's a laundry list of people that want to buy it. Everybody's fighting for it. He's not going to find one. The whole rest of the movie is about him trying to find it. Doesn't that tie into what's going on this year with the PlayStation 5s and the Xboxes? Almost exactly what you would go through now if you wanted one of those, and people would laugh in your face if you walked into Best Buy and asked for one today.
Oh, excuse me.
Yes?
I'm trying to find a Gentleman doll.
Me too, me too.
Do you have any more in the back? What did I say?
These guys are looking for a Turbo Man?
A Gentleman doll, yes.
So number 8's Jingle All the Way. Number 7 is a movie that a lot of people may not have heard of. I like it, and I'm going to probably watch it here pretty soon. I just wish that I could find it on a Blu-ray. It's the movie Trapped in Paradise. It's kind of an ensemble cast, but mainly it's almost like a Three Stooges-esque type movie where you've got Nicolas Cage, John Lovitz, and Dana Carvey. And they're 3 bumbling brothers who decide they're going to rob a bank in a small town, and they end up getting stuck there during the heist. So it's got all the classic, heartfelt moments of them trying to decide whether they really want to do this and what's going to happen. And I'm not going to ruin it, but it's a sappy Christmas movie. You can probably write the ending yourself. But that was back before Nicolas Cage was flooding your Walmarts with crap movies. This one is, if you haven't heard of it, give it a chance. Trapped in Paradise, number 7, is a good movie. Number 6 is about as traditional as you can get. It's still at the top of my stack here. A Charlie Brown Christmas. You can't get any better than Charlie Brown, man. I know a lot of people this day and age with their woke movements and all that stuff are coming out with the Charlie Brown specials, how they treating Franklin in there or whatever. Dude, just drop all of that, man. It's an animated show that's about Christmas. And that, if you don't do anything else, just watch it for the spotlight that goes on Linus and the little monologue that he does about what the hell Christmas really is about. So if you're not going to watch it for any reason other than that, watch it. That's why Charlie Brown Christmas is number 6 and almost cracked into my top 5 movies that I'm pretty much going to watch every Christmas. I haven't watched this. I didn't watch it last year. I'm going to crack this out and watch it this year. Do yourself a favor and go back and watch a classic, Charlie Brown's Christmas. So here we go with the top 5. So number 5, I think, is one of those movies where if this could be a Christmas movie, then why? Die Hard has definitely got to be on the list. Gremlins. It's a comedy / horror / dramedy / it's just one of the coolest mixes of a movie, and it's set at Christmas. Gizmo himself is he's kind of like Grogu over here. It's a little cute toy it's a little cute creature, that ended up becoming flooded the market with toys or whatever. Kids love them. He was given as a gift from a father to a son, and then all hell broke loose during Christmas that year. If Gremlins can be a Christmas movie, then so can Die Hard. That's going to be my excuse there. But number 5 is the original Gremlins, and the second one isn't half bad, but it's not really a Christmas movie, so I'm not gonna say watch those in a double feature. If you want, it's because you like Gremlins, but not because it's a Christmas movie. So number 4, I really struggled with my top 4. They're 4 of my favorite movies of all time. Sometimes I even watch it when it's these 4 movies when it's not Christmas. But always I'm going to watch these four guaranteed every Christmas. Number 4, the Bill Murray classic, Scrooged. And what I did was, I'm going to put on this list Scrooged or any version of A Christmas Carol that your family wants to watch. If I'm going to watch a version of Scrooge or The Christmas Carol, whatever, we're going to watch Scrooged because I think it's one of Bill Murray's best movies. Especially, you know, the classic ending when he breaks the fourth wall and talks to the audience and you got the classic music playing. Other than that, it's got some really funny bits. Me being a manager at work, and you know, sometimes be having to work long hours. The classic scene about him, you know, him trying to get his secretary to stay when she's got an appointment with her son and work late with him. That's classic comedy gold right there.
Grace, when I work late, you work late.
But I made the appointment 2 months ago.
I care. We're indivisible. If I'm working late, you gotta work late. If you can't work late, I can't work late. If I can't work late, I can't work late.
So if Scrooged or any version of A Christmas Carol that you want to watch, but I think you do yourself a disservice if you don't make Scrooge the version you watch. Number 3, and you're probably getting down to the nitty gritty here and know what these top 3 are, maybe not the order, and maybe they're in a different order for you, which is fine. Everybody has their opinion, but number 3 is Home Alone and Home Alone 2. I can't, if you're going to watch one, just watch the original classic. I know it doesn't play well this day and age. Some newer viewers might not like it because, damn, with a cell phone in everybody's pocket, this movie wouldn't even exist in today's world. They'd have to come up with a different way, way to do it. But number 2's guys obviously got that classic scene with Donald Trump when he's going into the hotel, but that probably everybody loves to hate now. If you're only going to watch one, watch Home Alone, but I love watching these back-to-back at Christmas. I think they make a good double feature. So I'm not separating them. I'm putting Home Alone 1 and 2 together. That's number 3 on my list. Number 2. And once I give you number 2, you're going to probably guess number 1 easy. Number 2 is Elf. It's one of Will Ferrell's best movies. Adults and kids can love it. It's got a lot of classic bits is what I call it, where they're short little scenes where he does sight gags and just quick funny moments.
Did you hear that?
But it also has some tender moments, like when he's singing to, I forget her name, but she's in the shower at work. She kind of gets creeped out, because he's in there with her and singing. But it also, that's, like a tender moment. It like pulls your heartstrings. And it's got the father and son aspect to it, where the father didn't know he had a son, doesn't want to have anything to do with him. And then he ends up falling in love with him throughout. It's got classic Christmas moments in it where Santa Claus shows up. It's got the Buddy, fish out of water story where he goes from the North Pole into the city. So it's got so many different aspects in it. That's one of the reasons that I think that everybody likes Elf. But if you don't like Will Ferrell, a lot of people don't that I know. It's hard not to like Elf if you don't like anything else that he's done. So Elf. And so here we are, friends, at the number 1 thing that I'm going to recommend that you watch this Christmas and every Christmas. The number 1 thing to watch at Christmas on my list is, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Not only is it to me the best Christmas movie, it's one of the best comedies of all time. How could you not like this Chevy Chase classic? I love all of the vacation movies that he's in. I don't know about that last one, but we won't talk about that. But, dude, he is such a lovable loser. And in this one, you got, just like kind of like the Will Ferrell movie, you got some classic bits in there that people recognize even if they don't watch Christmas Vacation every year. He goes from the the tree at the beginning when he's going out looking for it, to with a car going under his car going under the other vehicle, the truck, to him crashing into the tree lot, to him grabbing the tree that's 10 times too big and getting in the house, to the way the next door neighbors react to it, to him getting locked into the, I'm laughing just thinking about some of the moments, you know, and then the classic Randy Quaid, Cousin Eddie showing up unexpectedly when they're trying to turn the lights on. And then speaking of that, just the amount of lights he puts on the house every time you go by a house, it's almost like people just associate things at Christmas with this movie. Everything about it is good. I just will never grow tired of watching it. I got my hat here with Marty Moose on it. You probably already knew this was going to be number one. I got my Griswold, if you can read the back. Got my Griswold jersey on. Got my poster here. Got my Blu-ray special edition set up there. Where's my 4K of this movie, man? We need a special edition 4K of this. Everything is good about National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. If you don't like it, it's at least got to be on your list somewhere. So that was it. So that's my top 20 plus 2 honorable mention things to watch at Christmas this year or any year. I hope you enjoyed it. I know it was a little long in the tooth, but I really like making this one. It was easy to talk about these movies because it includes a lot of my favorites. So if they were your favorites too, drop some comments below. What did you not like about my list? What order would you have put in? What movies did I not add on here that my list that you would have added? What movies did I put on here you thought was silly or that you don't even think deserve to be on here? Make those comments. Go ahead and, if you would, subscribe to the channel and support me, please. I'm starting out new on YouTube, and I really could use your support. Any support you give me, whether it be comments, likes, or subscriptions, I really do appreciate it. Go ahead and hit the notification bell after you do that, and you'll be notified when I make more content. I'm hoping to make several videos during the holiday season, including one that I'm getting ready to make, which is going to be the top 10 reasons why you should be considering Die Hard as a Christmas movie this year. Alright, so with that being said, I hope everybody has a wonderful Christmas. I hope everybody is still staying safe. And this is Jeffman316, your pop culture reporter, signing out saying, you guys be safe out there.